Greetings everyone, I'm Maya and this is my second trimester pregnancy journey. So if you're going through the same timing as I am, congratulations. And if you'd like to just generally broaden your perspective on how pregnancy may look for different people, welcome to this video. I'm sure it will be insightful and useful for you. So my second trimester is actually the best period of my pregnancy just yet because I can finally see my bump. And it's such a pleasant experience to finally see this belly growing, developing every single day. And the start of the second trimester is the time where usually most of the people, me including, announce their pregnancy because it's usually the safe space and safe timing, considering that the biggest risk of miscarriage is finally faded away and you can share the news with the people that you want to share it with, and that you already know the gender of your baby, and that you are generally passed through that most vulnerable time, which is the first trimester. And if you have any questions that you want to know about the way that I went through my first trimester, I obviously did a video about it. You can see it right here. And the second trimester is usually the time when your placenta is finally formed, making your baby the most secured and protected from the harmful chemical influence of the outside world. So this is the time when usually most of the things are a little bit more allowed than they were during the first trimester. At the start of my second trimester, I've made a decision to dye my hair because I usually naturally prefer my hair a bit darker than they are. I bought a specific hair dye that did not have any additional harsh chemicals that could be inhaled or absorbed through the skin, and I did it just once. And now that I'm entering my third trimester, obviously I won't do that anymore. As it turns out, pregnancy kind of enlarges your moles on your body and makes them a little bit more visible. I allowed myself to do a laser mole removal without any pain management medications, but I wouldn't say that it went well. For example, the mole that I have on my hand right here decided to come back after some time, possibly because my hormonal levels are changing, which obviously influences all systems of the body, especially the skin. The second trimester is the time that I finally got that pregnancy glow, and I see that my skin has never been better. I definitely cut down most of my skincare. I really don't feel like using anything, and I barely wear any makeup. As before, I used to wear makeup almost every single day, and at this moment I just don't feel like it. I decided to not do any gel coloring anymore, the one that requires the UV light. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. The nail polish I have on right now is just the regular basic nail polish that I dye myself at home. And I decided to not do any false lashes. I've read that some people still do the hyaluronic acid lip injections, but I decided to postpone those as well. And overall, I would say that my natural instinct during this pregnancy has become to lower all of the chemical impact I may have on my body in various shapes or forms. I changed my deodorant from the ones that had antiperspirant qualities to the ones that are just deodorizing. I wouldn't say that I became a person who is 100% pure and not using anything chemically produced. I obviously still do, but it's just something that helped me to be a bit more conscious about my choices in terms of the things that I put on my body, inside my body, and the influence I personally control. Considering my overall emotional and physical well-being, I'm not as happy as I was during my first trimester, but it may be connected to the fact that my second trimester was filled with lots of personal changes in terms of us moving to a different country. Life has not been easy for me during this second trimester, and it's definitely one of the reasons why I may not feel the happiest of all. But generally, I would say that I do not have any emotional roller coasters. I do not feel like I want to cry at one moment and laugh at the other. Overall, I'm pretty stable as I was when I just found out that I am pregnant. The few things that I'd like to cover, which are a bit more specific pregnancy problems that may occur, some of the women are facing them and we do not talk about that enough, is Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid dysfunction that I have, and Placenta Previa. Starting with Hashimoto's, if you plan to get pregnant, your thyroid function and thyroid hormone levels are extremely important, and maybe one of the reasons why we could not conceive for a long time was the fact that my thyroid was not functioning properly. And since I changed the dosage of my levothyroxine from lower to slightly bigger, almost like 2-3 weeks after that, I finally became pregnant. It's very, very valuable during your pregnancy journey to check your blood every month for the levels of your thyroid hormones and make sure that those levels are within the appropriate range, just to make sure that your baby will not be influenced by that and that your organism will not just simply decline the pregnancy because it does not feel healthy enough. It's not scary for me. It's something that I've been living with almost my whole life, but I just did not know how important and valuable it is in terms of becoming a mom. Another thing that I mentioned is Placenta Previa. During mid to the end of my second trimester, I found out I had a low-lying placenta, which is actually not a good thing because it leads to you not being able to give birth naturally, vaginally. You'll have to go through a C-section because the opening where the baby usually comes out is literally covered by placenta, and it cannot be moved anyhow in terms of like medical intervention, and there are no proof of why it appears, and there are no ways to influence whether it goes away or it doesn't. So you just have to wait, be on a pelvic rest, and try not to lift heavy stuff, try not to exercise excessively. And that's what I've been doing, trying to stay as chill physically as I possibly could. I don't know about other people who are pregnant at the moment and who are faced with the decision that you will not possibly be able to give birth naturally, and I'm still kind of grieving about it. Again, it's the exact same topic I was covering in the first video that I filmed about my pregnancy. Your expectations and your requirements to yourself and to the world and to the way that all of this works sometimes does not face the reality. At this situation that I'm at, I do not have a choice. The first risk is me, and then the second risk is obviously for the baby. I think it's normal to be said that things are not going the way that you want it to go. Obviously, I did not want a C-section, but there is a chance that within like 4 to 6 weeks, until about the 36th week of being pregnant, the placenta may move away from the cervix naturally because your belly grows, your uterus grows. So if you're a person who for any reason is experiencing a high-risk pregnancy and is in the same shoes as I am, I feel you, understand you, and I hope you don't feel alone. At the end of the day, what's most important is making sure that I survive this whole experience and that my baby does healthily and fortunately and without any complications. Additionally, what I would like to cover is that my nausea and my heartburn and my fatigueness kind of finally faded away. I would say that I still vomit from time to time, especially when I'm being a passenger in the car. Another tip for you is do not have sweet breakfasts because for me personally, sweets is something that always kind of starts this whole process of feeling nauseous and feeling like you want to vomit. And you know that sometimes you get this feeling that your nerve is stuck in your leg and you cannot do anything about it, and it's really, really painful. I've experienced it just once at the very beginning of my second trimester, and during all this time I somehow can control it, and I can feel when that nerve sucking sensation starts. So I try to put my foot like this, trying to bend it in another direction, and it really, really helps to prevent this whole nerve spasm happening. I wake up and every single day the amount of levels of energy I have are absolutely different. I may wake up and feel extremely energized and do all of the things that I plan to do, or I may wake up, eat a breakfast, and go to bed once again and sleep for another 2-3 hours because for some reason my body requires a lot more energy just to function. So if you have any additional questions, I would love to discuss it in the comments. Stay tuned for part 3, the third trimester, when I'll be gigantically big with my belly. Thank you for watching this. I appreciate your time and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.